You know, really the past, the present and the future is just one big cycle. I believe, as most Buddhists and Hindus believe, that it's us coming back, you know. Like our kid, it's something you did, God knows when, but you're doing it again.
It was almost as if my dad had the whole thing mapped out, and we were just these lab rats trying to find our way through the maze that hadn't quite been finished yet. Trying not to leave any footprints of us, or any trace of Jeff or me. That was the most conscious thing that we did, was to try and not impose on the album in any way, and make a kind of, as Jeff calls it, a cradle for the voice and the guitar.
To make an album, make those songs all finished and mixed, started out really daunting because I was so used to working with George so closely, until I realised that, you know, that Danny was going to be there all the time. Once we got into it, like after a couple of tunes, George sort of was with us, really. What he wanted really was kind of like demo form of music, but they deserved more than that because they were great songs as far as I was concerned. And so, sorry George, I made him a little bit posher than you may have wanted them, but I felt that I was only doing them justice.
I still do it the same as we did it 30 years ago or even 40 years ago. It's still in the old school of music, or, you know, in the 60s or 70s way of doing stuff. It's not high tech, and it's not a rap or techno or whatever version of it. Just acoustic guitars played by people into microphones onto tape.
His time as a musician was incredible. He had fantastic time. And as a drummer, you know, that's something that's important, and that's something that I noticed way early on. He wasn't a rusher, he wasn't a dragger, he had a beautiful heartbeat.
I don't want you, but I hate to lose you. You got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea.
George, as a lyricist, was always honest. If he believed in something, he'd write about it, and if he didn't believe in something, he'd write about that too.
The devil and the deep blue sea. I wanna cross you off my list, but when you come knocking at my door, fate seems to give my heart a twist, and I come running back home. I should hate you, but I guess I love you.
That's really what he was like around the house all day, just playing ukulele and smiling. And, you know, we'd heard every Hoagie Carmichael song, from Barnacle Bill the Sailor to, you know, he'd sing everything on the uke. You know, he'd sing anything and everything. And so that was really, you know, we had to get that in there to have, because there's uke on a lot of the other tracks as well, but that was the one that really just reeked of my dad.
It was probably always that yearning, you know, finding the real answer to it all. And I think he thought about that a lot, you know, what's it all about? Much more than, say, I do, for instance.
And if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
The problem with talking is, you know, like, the more you say, the more you bury yourself in, you know, it's very difficult to express what you feel in your heart.
May not know who you are.
In a song, though, because you have the addition of the music and the value of sound, that it touches places that, you know, other things don't touch, and so it can stir you from a much deeper, subtle level. I try to do my music about what my experiences are.
He wrote about important things like spirituality and corruption and stuff like that. He never wrote a song that was just like a song, you know, like I love you and that's why I think you're nice.
Nobody seems to listen to anything anyway these days, do they? All got cloth ears. Especially me.
Never slept so little.
My dad's favourite number was 7, and a lot of things that he did were according to the number 7, whether he meant it or not. And that was the highest honour I could have given a track on the album, was to put it track 7. That is my favourite, that track. I love it.
Talking to myself, crying out loud. Only I can hear me. I'm stuck inside a cloud.
Sometimes he'd be up and sometimes he'd be down. I'm not making him a saint, he could be a bit grumpy now and again.
This is real life, you know, trees are growing and they give oxygen to the planet. They don't take it away like, you know, traffic jams. Sometimes I just feel I'm actually on the wrong planet, you know? And I feel great when I'm in my garden, but the moment I go out the gate, I think, what the hell am I doing here?
I would like people who hear this album to actually hear how great George was. What a great singer, what a great guitar player, arranger, songwriter.
I think this music has to be heard, and I'm not saying it's going to like change your life or anything, but definitely change mine.
Oh, the rising sun
I think he'd want to be remembered as
and the place
a great musician and a gardener.